right, time for damage control. Joe Reichel is in the studio from Damage Control Services, and he's here to answer your questions about the damage you're trying to repair, or maybe the remodeling job that you're taking on yourself. If you need a little helping hand or some advice, this is a good time to call 622-9622. And Joe Reichel has a guest today. Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
Good, good. We've got JP with Penn Flooring here today.
Yes, sir.
He's been on the show, I know, at least once before.
Once or twice.
I was thinking it might have been a couple times, but we were talking last week about tiles as far as in showers and how sometimes they get that black that comes in, and one of the things that I was talking about a lot of times is shower maintenance, and how we've had several jobs recently where homeowners are calling us because they're cleaning the showers and tile is falling off the wall, and it's because of not maintaining them properly or not keeping grout in there and whatnot, and then that the moisture gets behind it and tile falls off. So I wanted to bring JP in, not necessarily as far as cleaning or taking care of the mildew, the black that gets in the grout, but there's different products, and maybe you want to segue into here as far as talking about that.
And that's a very, very common issue. We hear it, I'd have to say multiple times a week on how to get rid of it. Mostly, like you said, we're not a cleaning industry in there too, but mainly my approach to that is preventative maintenance or prevention of it happening to begin with. And really, our best approach to that is to start with the grouts that have the added antimicrobials in them. Better grades of grout, because that is where you typically see most of the problems whenever it is done not necessarily improper, but with just regular standard materials that are porous, that do not block any of those bacteria from growing in there. And there's actually quite a large market out there now of these additives, grout additives, different types of grouts that you can use to prevent this from happening.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is just because someone can do a job and it's going to be the cheapest doesn't necessarily it's going to be the best.
Yeah, and grout is something, it's not the largest expense, of course, in the project there. It's actually pretty minor, especially whenever you're using standard materials. Now, whenever you go up to an upgraded grout, let's say that has these built-in antimicrobials and everything in them, you might be talking 2 or 3 times the amount that you'd normally pay for grout. Let's say a standard shower, you're going to use maybe 2 bags of grout. That's about $27. So triple that, you might spend $90 or $100 instead, but that's going to save you from the, 5 years down the road, 3 years down the road, the headache of trying to clean it or paying professionals to come in and clean it.
A lot of times people will say they're going to seal their grout.
You can, and sealer, it is a widely used method for standard grouts on there. A lot of these new grouts don't require sealer because of how they're formulated, but basically a sealer is just a protective coating, and I like to, most of the time, for lack of a better analogy, just explain it like wax on a car. It does need to get applied on there, but it has to be reapplied after every couple washes or cleanings on there. It does not stay permanently. And so it is a temporary solution, and as long as it's kept up with, it does help. Does not prevent.
So maintenance.
More maintenance. So that's what we try to prevent all of that to begin with. And yes, it is a little bit more costly to begin with, but not a huge expense.
But you don't have that continued upkeep where, as you have, if you're not doing it, you have a professional coming in and cleaning the floor and then putting another coat of sealer down on the ground.
Not even the money, but not even having to worry about it. It'd be nice not to even think about it.
So do you see a lot of your clients that are coming in going towards grouts like that? Or is that...
Actually, we've got one, I believe, going out tomorrow. They're doing an indoor and outdoor porch area lanai and an exterior application that they're using this new Caracolor CQ is what we call it anyway. It's made by Mapei. It's a big brand. They actually make it here in Florida, down in South Florida. And it's a pre-mixed grout, and it has quartz added into it. And there's a lot more in detail that it goes online there, but that is a system to where it is completely mixed in the bag ready to use, so it is almost do-it-yourself as well, and you don't have to worry about overwashing the grout or discoloring it if too much water is applied in the mixture as traditional grout is done. But very
in the application process.
Yep.
Okay. So if a homeowner is going to have, let's just say I'm Joe homeowner and I'm looking to have tile done, is this something that everybody knows about, or?
I wouldn't say that everybody knows about it. No, most people think of grout as a necessary evil with tile, and for lack of, it is. It's definitely something that's required with tile. Most people don't like grout, so they don't like tile, and that's sort of the hand in hand there. But it is something that is being offered more now that more companies are offering it. There's more colors to choose from, and it makes it easier for the consumer to go ahead and start with that product rather than your traditional methods on there. But it is something that the customer usually needs to be made aware of.
So is this something that I know you have it at Penn Flooring, which JP's from Penn Flooring, and on the show here we're advertising Penn Flooring. We want everybody to go there. We know, though, that not everybody is going to. Is this something that other companies are carrying as well?
Definitely is. Mapei, the brand itself, is who we specifically carry. It is carried at a couple other locations here in town. Lowe's and Home Depot do not carry that brand, but I'm sure that their brands that they carry have something similar. You do just want to do your research and make sure that it's comparable.
Okay, so most of the grout manufacturers are going to stuff like this.
They are shifting towards that direction, and of course, Mapei is the professional brand, and that is why we use them. I stand behind their products there. Of course, I can't say everybody else on there what they carry, of course, but a lot of those products are out there, widespread through the whole industry.
Okay, that's great for our listeners to know that, because like I said, I get that question all the time as far as how do I prevent this, and it's best now knowing it's at the very beginning. Mm-hmm. At the very beginning, you can prevent this from ever happening, and if you tell somebody this is what's going to happen eventually if you don't do it.
Yep.
And everybody can relate to that. I'll bet all of our listeners have had in their showers, if they have a tile shower or have seen it, the black, the mildew growth in the grout. And it's not even just in showers, but that's the most common.
Wet areas.
Yeah, any area behind your sink, as far as a backsplash, will get that too. So we've got one job yesterday that our guys, one of our estimators went out on, and the shower pan is leaking, and it's causing, hello! The shower pan's leaking, and it's causing all kinds of mold growth on the exterior now of the hallway outside of the bathroom because of this. So.
And that could or could not be related to the grout on there. There's a lot of different factors that go into leaking in the showers there. Grout mainly is just the residue that you see on the surface there. Not often is it the grout that's causing the leak.
Right. Well, let me ask you. Oh, we got a bunch of people to wave to. Hey, kids. So let me ask you this. We're right at break, and when we come back, I've got a great question for you about cracks in showers.
All right,
we'll be right back.
Weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Tornado watch in effect until 8 a.m. for Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River counties. After those storms end, though, just variable clouds with a high of 76 to 80 today. Tonight, mainly clear and cooler, low 45 to 53. Wednesday, mostly sunny and nice with a high 71 to 75. And Thursday, partly sunny with a high of 69 to 73. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Evan Duffy.
Are
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
Oh my, how did another 365 days go by? If you're looking to make a change in 2016, get involved in the health scene. Get rid of the old and try something new, like acupuncture at A Better You. Pain in your joints or knees? Throw out your back every time you sneeze? Then acupuncture is sure to please. From pain to allergies, even the flu, come get acupuncture at A Better You. Call me, Dr. Erica Olstein with A Better You Healthcare today at 352-615-5566.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Because music stirs up strong emotions, it makes it easier for our brain to store information about that event. Showering less will definitely help most people's complexions because hot showers melt away the oils that seal in moisture and keep skin supple. Dogs are man's best friend, right? But new research from Nature's Scientific Reports now shows that dogs also do nice things for other dogs.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
We are The Source, WOCA.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock. Let's return to Joe Reichel and JP with Penn Flooring on damage control.
Okay, so just as we were going to break, I said I wanted to talk about cracks, and specifically the cracks in showers. A lot of times at the corners or at the floor where the floor meets the walls, there's a transition and transition points. Those have a tendency to crack.
Yep, those are the most prone areas there. And again, going back to the original install, yes, it's something that can be fixed afterwards too, but typically in a shower installation like that, all of the perimeter seams or cracks there where the joints come together, and the corners, the floor, all of those areas, they tend to be a little flexible because your wall is built, it is on studs there, but you've got a perma-base or some sort of backer board there, a waterproof board that is screwed onto there, might move just a little bit, and that's how those cracks do occur. But typically those are supposed to be caulked with a flexible caulk sealant, which is made to match the color of the grout.
So where do I find, let's just say that wasn't done, I've got a shower, it's got cracks, the walls, where do I find that caulk?
Well, most caulks, all of them rather, are really sold hand in hand with their grouts. All manufacturers that I know of anyway, whoever sells grout, they sell a color matching caulk to go with that sanded or unsanded grout there. Generally, if you have existing cracks and they're not a caulk, and you can usually tell by sticking them with something, if they're flexible at all, it's a caulk already. And if it's cracked, then it may just need to be reapplied. If it is a very hard substance like a dried concrete, and that's what a grout is, just a cement-based product there, if it is hard there, you know that it was never caulked, and that can be carefully scratched out without damaging any of the tiles, and you'll have to find a color that matches your existing grout unless you know what it is, and apply a new layer or bead of caulk in those corners and joints there to prevent any future cracking, because the caulking can expand and contract.
Okay, so once again, Joe homeowner, I have a crack in there, I take a little something and I carefully scratch out a piece. If I brought it to you, could you match that with an existing
we don't have any fancy methods of matching other than looking at it and trying to tell you. But they do have a grout chart that has about 45, 50 different colors on it, and you can hold that up there. And generally, an existing piece of grout is going to be slightly discolored. But at the same note there, you may want to match that discoloration so that it does match the rest of it. So
you're going to be able to come close to
definitely
matching
close.
that and be able to, even though you might be able to tell a little bit, still you're
better than a crack.
It's much better than a crack because you're protecting that area.
And you're stopping any water from getting back through there like we had just talked about, which can lead to more problems because those cracks in the grout, they may not cause the leaks, but they don't help if water is traveling through the grout in those cracks.
Okay, so let's just say I have this shower. I've been using it. I want to caulk these. I would think, maybe not using a shower for a couple days, letting that dry out.
Usually, most caulks have a 6 to 12 hour cure time.
But what
Some
about
even sooner?
What about like the if water has gotten behind there, should I let that dry out a little bit?
There's really, I have not advised anyone to try to let that dry out. I'm not sure how you would accomplish that or how you would know if there's water behind there.
Right.
Without doing.
So if you're
some
just using the
destructive-
shower,
I would seal it up immediately on there and proceed to use it after that caulk is cured out.
After the cure time.
I wouldn't necessarily try to let it dry out if you think it's behind there. That may take some specialty equipment or something to...
Like a dehumidifier.
Yeah, something, maybe. Yeah, that'd be your field there.
Some fans.
Yeah, you could. I'm sure it could, but you'd have to know that there's water back there.
Right. And that's where a lot of times I make sure that homeowners, and this is going, a little bit different than our conversation, but I always tell homeowners if you have an exhaust fan in your bathroom, you want to always use it because that's helping to get that moisture out of there.
Helping your paint don't peel, whatever it is. It's stopping the humidity from in the house.
So let's change conversation, change topics a little bit. We've been talking about tile, and if anyone has questions about that, JP's always at Penn Flooring. What's the best number to reach you on, JP, if somebody does have a question?
Our main line on there is 352-351-3420, and always available on our website too. We've got a little section on there where you can ask questions. I think it sends an email directly to our sales department there, and usually I take care of that as well and answer any inquiries off the website.
Well, let's talk about carpet. I know you brought some samples. We were talking earlier, JP and I were talking about the new trends in flooring.
So one of the new things that I brought with me today is something called... Right here we've got it. It is a shawl product called Lifeguard, and for lack of a better term, it is a waterproof carpet. Now the backing is waterproof, I should say. What they've got is a completely sealed layer of membrane back here, some sort of plastic. I don't know what it's exactly made of, but it is a waterproof product there, and it stops any spills or liquids, whatever it is, dog accidents from getting through your carpet and into that foam padding. Because typically any smell that comes from a dirty room of carpet is being held in that padding, especially whenever you try to have the carpet cleaned and 3 or 4 days later you come and it's still got a smell to it. It's because you cannot get that smell out of the padding that's underneath the carpet.
And the padding is basically just like a sponge.
Just like a sponge.
And it absorbs everything.
It does, and once that liquid gets in there, or worse, urine, dog, whatever it is there, does not smell too great after it's been sitting in there for a couple days. And yes, it may eventually go away, but it's best to try to stop it altogether. And,
okay, so let me ask you this. Colors, nap, what's the...
Everything that you know today about carpet, they're able to put this backing on. So
wow.
All regular carpets that you see, they've actually come out with 2 new lines, or 2 racks, I should say, that we've got in our showroom now. And starting at entry-level price points, I think they started around $2.50 a square foot. I've actually got some in stock, about 5 different colors and styles in stock now that we carry it. And just a good product out there that's going to help those families that have a lot of spills or accidents. And that are afraid of putting carpet in there because they don't want to have to change it in a year or two because it's gotten stinky.
So seems like it'd be something that would be good for landlords to use, like in a rental property, for example.
Now, yeah, that is something that might be a stretch on there.
Really?
Most rental places like that don't tend to put a higher end product
Right.
in there.
Well, a
because of
nicer rental
turnover.
maybe, because
But, and it might be. I haven't thought about that, of course, on there, but definitely from the wearability standpoint, I definitely think it would help those areas like that. You would just have to get somebody willing to put that extra money into the product there and hope that the tenant doesn't destroy it instead of soil it.
Right.
Because most of my experience with renters, whenever they do destroy the carpet, it's actually destroyed.
But here again, if you have someone that's going to, someone that's wanting to put a little extra in to make sure that, that's going to have a good product.
Get some good life out of it.
Yeah, good life. What is the life expectancy of this carpet?
Basically, on most of these, your average lifespan of carpet for the industry-wide is between 5 and 7 years.
Okay.
On these, of course, they give a lifetime warranty for the waterproof backing, the stain and soil, 20-year for texture and wear on this product here that I'm looking at now. But really, I would say that it's really safe to say that it would almost double the average life expectancy to 10 to 14 years instead of 5 to 7, just because of the fact that it can be cleaned so much easier, and it does prevent any of these spills, liquid spills that is, from getting through the carpet into the padding, which often comes back to bite you. Not only the smell, but sometimes stains, especially darker stains, will get in that padding and it wicks back up through the carpet to create that same stain you had that you just got cleaned 6 months ago.
Gotcha.
Gonna prevent that.
Wow. So, and let's talk about, a few minutes here. We talked about tile. You've got tile at Penn Flooring. You've got carpet.
Basically everything that goes on the floor. We do all the floor covering on there except like a polished concrete is the only thing that we don't do on there. We've got hardwood, tile, laminate. They've got some new waterproof vinyls now that look just like hardwood and laminate, which is a big industry push right now too. It's actually maybe taking over the laminate industry altogether because it's basically a laminate but waterproof. Looks just like it, installs just like it. Pricing is getting to be the same. They get a little lower every
Now that snaps together.
It does.
Okay.
They come in a floating option with the click and lock joints there, and easy to install on there, waterproof like I said, and it's a vinyl product, so it's actually very durable. in that
Nice.
sense too, but with the look of hardwood or tile.
So pretty much any homeowner, whatever their need, flooring wise, they'd be able to come into Penn Flooring and leave with a great product and be able to make a good decision on what they want in their house.
Either that or overwhelmed with the amount of options.
Tell us again where you're located at and how they can get a hold of you again.
We're right on 17th Street, just before you get to 441, heading into town, just before the bridge on the left there. Big rust-colored building there. Penn Flooring there. We've got a website, pennflooring.com, and always willing to answer any questions or calls, whatever it may be, and just here to help.
And once again, what's your number, JP?
352-351-3420.
Okay, and if you have any questions, I can help you too. Hopefully it's not flooring. If it's flooring, call JP. But if you need, 352-817-6574 is my number, or joe@damageflorida.com.
Very good. Thank you, Joe, and thank you. We'll see you next time. That was fun.
right.
Thank you, JP.
I got to get some new carpet. That's what I got to get.
There you go.
I gotta get
I know where to send you.
All right, we'll be right back.
Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control. Damage control.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. The tornado watch in effect until 8 a.m. for Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River counties. After those storms end, though, just variable clouds with a high of 76 to 80 today. Tonight, mainly clear and cool.